So, a few days ago on Twitter, that wonderful bastion of human interaction on the internet, an image was posted of the June 2020 logo, which is quite interesting because it shows how far along they are in the project, and it appears that they're well and truly into post-production. I thought I might share some of my thoughts about the film, the book, as well as what it actually is, for those who don't know, and my thoughts on where the film is going, what it could look like, and what it needs to learn from the previous iterations of the books, which have been turned into films and TV series.
What is Dune? Dune is a 1965 science fiction book written by Frank Herbert, which revolves around the son of a noble house in a feudal society, whose family is betrayed and is then forced to seek refuge with the natives of planet Arrakis, the natives being, of course, the Fremen, whom he trains and leads to fight their mutual enemy, the Harkonnen. Along this hero's journey, we encounter how powerful forces strive for control over rare resources, which in this case enable space travel. This book's themes deal with power, religion, gender dynamics, the struggle of an empire to maintain control. All this is blended with Middle Eastern influence. This new film is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is no stranger to the sci-fi genre, as he has directed films such as Arrival and Blade Runner 2049, and appears to be a competent filmmaker who does seem to have a degree of respect for franchises, as we've seen in the latest Blade Runner film. Both Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 helped offer clues as to the cinematographic style in which the Dune 2020 film will be shot. As we can see in both films, that there appears to be an inclination towards using impressive shots and monolithic structures, such as in the scene in Arrival, and here again in Blade Runner. Maybe it's surmisable that we'll see similar shots of the Imperial Palace in Kaite, or even the city of Arrakeen on Arrakis, and with any luck, they may well use miniatures over CGI. You can also see from Villeneuve's previous films an excellent use of lighting to create dramatic effect. So if one were to guess, it would seem natural to use dull and low lighting planets like Giedi Prime, which is highly industrialised and home to House Harkonnen. We may also find planet Arrakis as a brightly lit environment, which also makes use of red colours. Apparently they also did principal photography in Wadi Rum in Jordan. Having been there myself, I can attest to just how bright the environment can be. Now for the story. This new film is going to be divided into two individual films, which seems to be a sensible option, as the book itself is very complex, features many different characters and branching plots, not unlike Lord of the Rings, although some may also think of it as the original Game of Thrones, as all three share similar features. This is not, however, the first adaptation of the book to the big screen, as in 1984 the first film was released, directed by David Lynch. This film was not a box office success. I personally loved the film, as I felt the costumes, actors and set designs were perfect. However, it also suffered a lot from its pacing, as well as various omissions from the story. It also didn't help that many of the story's concepts weren't that well presented, which for those who are unfamiliar must have been a little confusing. Apparently even some cinemas actually had issued a printed glossary to cinema patrons, so they could familiarise themselves with all the terms and concepts of the film. Conversely, the miniseries produced in the year 2000 was very faithful to the book, but however was lacking in overall visuals, including the actors' wardrobe, which at times looked a little ridiculous. And I feel that there were times when they were far too faithful to the book, and actually included far too much in order to keep the viewer's interest. It's with these factors in mind that I feel that Dune 2020 will have a great deal of problems to overcome, and attaining the right balance will be incredibly tricky. However, if any current director can do it, then it probably will be Villeneuve. With this franchise was also another lesser known miniseries which was released in 2003 and stars some of the previous cast of the year 2000 production. This series focused on the Dune sequels of Dune Messiah in 1969 and Children of Dune written in 1976. I actually felt this was a very good adaptation of the sequels and had a much more focused and serious tone compared to its predecessor, and I highly recommend checking it out. I personally will continue to look for updates on this new film, and I'm cautiously optimistic that it will hit the right notes. Once again, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.